Hello dear viewers, welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're going to go back to Granite Grant here, and it's time, I believe, to head towards the Crypts. We have on our Pearl Dragon armor, which is appropriate for the Crypts, a lot more negative energy there than fire. There is some fire, but not as much. Everything else looks fine, I suppose. Though it's doubtful we need this potion of cure mutation. I was going to take that with us to Pandemonium if we went back, but I think the Crypts is a better... here we go. It's better to protect it from any chance that it might freeze. What are their random critters here? Yeah, I mean, we have something like 4 or maybe 5 potions of cure mutation, which is nice, but no reason to unnecessarily lose one. Especially since we haven't found a source of resist mutation yet, which is a little bit frustrating. But what can you do? You can see how much stronger we are now than the first time through the vaults. Okay, so the Crypts. A few interesting things about the Crypts. One, they're quieter than most other places in the dungeon. So sound carries further. Even regular combat can draw things towards you, and yes, good. And spellcasting, particularly high-level spells, is quite likely to result in the... We don't have to worry about miasma, which is nice because we're a gargoyle. Result in the alerting of your foes. Silent Spectre, flat. Silent Spectres are one reason why a spellcaster should always have a backup source of damage. We don't have a scroll of Identify. That's right, because many of our scrolls burned in the great scroll burning of Pandemonium, I suppose. We're not wearing a Ring of See Invisible, although we do have one on us. We haven't found another source of it, which is a little frustrating, but, I mean, at least we have a source. Parts of this game would have been quite difficult without one. Okay. Get the Necromancer out from behind his... Well, I was going to say meat shields, but I suppose they're more bone shields in that particular case. Various dragon-y type critters. Ooh, curse skulls. That's right, they're immune to fire? Immune to poison, fire, negative energy, very resistant to electricity and cold. Yeah. Kind of obnoxious. They don't move when they're in sight of you. So that's something, I suppose. But they can and will move when they're out of sight of you. They will torment you and summon things in between you and them, and then torment you some more, and are just generally unpleasant. So, glad that we managed to take that one down before it summoned anything. Ring of Fire, protection from fire, slaying, or sustenance. So, unlikely that this Sapphire Ring is anything particularly bad. Yeah, Ring of Fire. Which we don't need because we have a strictly better Ring of Fire, although we could wear both, so I suppose we'll hang on to it. Currently, we are using this nifty ring of Strength +4, Int +5, Damage +6 in place of our Ring of See Invisible. Which is fine if we encounter something that's particularly... here we go. Scroll of Identify. Check out this Scale Mail. +0 Scale Mail of Darkness, Dexterity +2. Bleh. Crypts actually have a reasonable amount of treasure, although it's mostly going to be somewhat trivial in power level for us. Oh. Something invisible. There we go. By and large, this intelligence is going to be nice. Oh, we are standing in this little area of silence, so we can't even examine our spells. But the fact that, you know, it boosts up our spell power and our spell casting rate and all that good stuff. Ooh, I forgot that we have Lehudib's Crystal Spear. Let's assign that to something more appropriate than O. Let's put it as G. Boom. Yeah, Lehudib's Crystal Spear is really strong. It's not quite at max rank. We'd need a few more levels in Conjurations for that, I believe. Max spell power, rather. Yeah, not quite. But it's still doing, probably close to 100 damage on average. If not 100 damage. At max, it's an average of 114 damage. With a maximum of something like... Oh, right, we did reassign it, and it was just... Let's see. There we go, yeah. O is actually T. I forget sometimes. I have my T key rebound to the effect of O, Auto Explorer, because it's within reach of my first finger. When we have several things we need to take out and we're not particularly concerned about guaranteeing they go down in one hit, we can use Iron Shot instead, since it is more mana efficient. Assuming that a majority of the time it will still kill things in one hit. And we can always just, actually, let's kill that, because it can drain us. It doesn't have a hunger cost, does it? Surely not. No, good. Alright. Ooh, Curse Skull. It is immune to fire, but its minions are not. And this will let us... shucks. I was hoping it would let us get within range. Oh, I could have just been abjuring things this whole time. Let's step out of range here and sort of reevaluate a little bit. We are taking some damage here. There we go. Aura of Abjuration is really nice for dealing with these obnoxious things. Very, very difficult to deal with Curse Skulls if you are a fighter bashy type without any source of penetrating damage or abjuration. They will just continue to summon things until you have been tormented to death. It's very frustrating. I believe we have some scrolls of Holy Word in our stash, which are quite powerful in the crypt, but another invisible thing. Oh well. They're much more useful in the tomb, where there are many, many, many nasty monsters. I believe that currently with 0.14, the tomb is just a series of vaults. It's pre-designed. You'll face the same set of creatures every time, but that is changing in 0.15. How's our shields coming along? 20? Okay, getting there. Our goal is to get it to 25 so we can use large shields, making us functionally invulnerable to physical melee and ranged attacks, as well as beam-type spells. We'll block pretty much everyone, which is nice. We're not actually going to be invulnerable, mind you. It's just going to be quite convenient. What is this thing? Oop. Oh, a Revenant. Well, take care of that. Hoodoo's Crystal Spear, being a boss as usual. Unlike Firestorm and Shatter, I actually have some experience with Crystal Spear. And I can assure you that it is excellent. That ring has been cursed, which is a little frustrating considering our... Oh, we do have a scroll of Remove Curse. That's convenient. Must have just found that recently. Remove Curse is one of those scrolls that you find a ton of early on, and you don't really appreciate them until you don't have any more. Just kind of march towards this cursed hole here and kill it. What is that? Oh, a snapping turtle skeleton. That's kind of cute, actually. I mean, evil and potentially deadly, but cute. Most of the time, skeletons are strictly weaker than their living counterparts. The only real exceptions are when you anticipate them having a weakness that their living counterpart possesses, which they typically don't. Possess weaknesses that their living counterparts possess, I mean. Lost souls are weird. They kind of turn into other things. Let's see what kind of things we get here. What is this in Jiangxi? Oh, that's a summoned monster. Lame. Huh. What summoned it? Oh, we summoned it. It's ours. Great. Neat. Summoned creatures are a convenient way of getting around the death curses of mummies. We will want more sources of summoning before we take on the tomb. But the tomb is one of those things that you kind of save for last, or near last. You want to be extremely over-prepared for the tomb. In part because death curses are not fun. Regular mummies will just death curse you by cursing your items or doing nothing. There we go. Or rather, it's a cantrippy sort of curse that you feel an inescapable sense of doom pass over you, or something of the sort. But the more powerful mummies, greater mummies, mummy, whatever, like this, guardian mummy, their curses can be far more potent. And I don't like mummies, so we're just gonna fill the room with fiery death. Ha 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 ha. Go, Firestorm. Destroy all those who stand in my way. Excellent. Now everything we have is cursed. So, let's see. Let's put on this Ring of Sea Invisible. We also want to have available to us. And then we'll read a scroll of Remove Curse. So I'll get rid of a large number of things, large number of curses. I don't really feel the need to uncurse anything else for now. Since let's see, yeah, none of our armor was equipped, just a few rings, and it doesn't look like any of those rings are going to be, yeah, I highly doubt we'll need to switch into them at any point. Okay, well, that's the crypt. Still only 20.9. Let's, you know, let's peek our heads into the tomb here. And kill a few things. Yeah, lots of torment. Okay, so only 17 damage from that particular death curse. And a reasonable amount of experience. I really kind of want to get shields up to 25 before I venture into Pandemonium again. No particular reason, just a little bit of OCD. This is one place where it's really extra nice that we are extremely stealthy. The crypts are even more quiet than the tomb is even more quiet than the crypts, which is saying something. So pretty much everything knows we're here now. We've cast some spells and fought some things, and we really ought not to have uncursed our things before venturing into the tomb if we were planning it. But I didn't know at the time that we were venturing into the tomb, so. Oop. Another little alarm there. I forget that Lehudub's Crystal Spear is even shorter range than Iron Shot. It's a very good argument for keeping Iron Shot around. I remember doing some spell casting math earlier, and yeah, we hear strange and distant voices. That's one of the cantrip curses. Oh, yikes, I didn't want to do that. Auto-explore is not what you want to do in the crypt, or in the tomb, rather. You want to carefully explore from wall to wall. Ah, yes, summoned shadows with his death curse. Yeah, the death curses of more powerful mummies can, let's see, summon things, torment you, curse your stuff, cause stat drain, that's another big one. Drain up to, I believe, 7 points off of one of your stats. So if you are a big bashy minotaur with 4 intelligence, you can be rendered brainless, which is quite inconvenient. Can't read scrolls, can't do a number of things. But it actually, I mean, we have natural torment resistance, and we have fantastic negative energy resistance currently. So I feel like we can at least clear this first level. Not a huge boatload of experience just yet, but we'll get there. Come on. Okay. Using shift and the directional keys to travel there, so I will auto stop upon seeing a monster, like so. Ooh. Greater mummies. They are the big bads. They look dangerous to a max level character. Walt Whitman, huh? Interesting. Let's take on this guy first. There will be a number of mummies. Oh, I meant to summon shadow creatures. There we go. Get some mummies of our own. Just checking to see that these things are not resistant to fire, and it does not appear that that is the case, so... Fuego! Oh, out of magic, eh? There we go. More pain. Bash, 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 bash. Okay. The upside, I suppose, of Torment is that it can't outright kill you. Only other things can do that. So, you know, some protection there. Slowing is another death curse, as you can see. Bunch of traps. By and large, we can fly over them, though we are vulnerable to Zot traps. I have yet in all of my runs to find an artificial form of Torment resistance, aside from Necromutation, which is not available to all characters. Oh dear, this Zot trap. It's inconvenient. We really don't want to fly into it, so there we go. Most traps you can fly over, but Zot traps have no such weakness. They can and will trigger even if you are flying. Oh, let's get up an Aura of Abjuration here. Let's wait for a turn, see what's up. Yeah, this is not too terrible here. Tomb is going quite well. A fine marble ring. Ooh, an artifact ring. I'll take it. What is Aura of Abjuration? Level 6. Can't quite cast it yet. Not that we needed to in that particular instance. We've had our intelligence drained somewhat, which is, of course, annoying, but let's see. Let's find out what this ring does. The Ring of Ashen Zari's Fury. Resist fire, intelligence +2, accuracy +2. Nice! That's a good one. It's a very good one. Resist fire with a bonus. I'll take it. Yeah, the Tomb is much easier for us as a spellcaster than as the last character I came in here with, which was a bashy fighter type. I also realized at some point in a previous video I mentioned that I hadn't recorded, or I was glad to get the chance to record a trip to the heaven level of Pandemonium. I had already recorded one of those, I realized. Made me feel a little silly when I recalled that, but okay, shields. Still not level 22. Oh, dare we venture further into the tomb? That seems like a risky proposition. Especially since we don't know what awaits us. Okay, so let's put on one of these other rings that we want to decurse. A ring of See Invisible specifically. Yes. And the shield. And we'll read our scroll of remove curse. Okay. Actually, may as well keep this shield on. 46 armor class should be fine. Yeah, let's not push our luck with the tomb here. I've only ever cleared this first level, and while we didn't seem to have too many problems, I'd really rather not take any chances. Here we go. Oop. There we go. So, what do we have now? We have more Pandemonium, I suppose. We could... I feel like we're probably strong enough to do at least a few levels of a Ziggurat. That seems pretty reasonable, actually. The Ziggurats start off hard and get insane, but we should be able to survive 10 or so levels of it. And we have enough sources of teleportation and healing. Yeah, I've talked myself into it. We're doing it. The reason why I say, doing a few levels is because I do not anticipate being able to finish. And in fact, I will not even attempt to finish. I will retreat after a handful of levels. And when we get there, I will describe more of the workings of a Ziggurat. But we got to get there first. Oh, it's so nice being immune to both rotting and miasma. Causes several unpleasant effects that we would not wish to deal with, rotting amongst them. But like I said, we're immune to rotting, which is great. Even if we weren't, we would be immune to that cloud, because we don't breathe. I don't breathe. It's what Tombstone said to Batman, I believe, when he tried to... Okay, let's eat a ration. Once we enter here, the Ziggurat will be forever closed to us, but they do appear in Pandemonium periodically, so... Yeah, as you can see, first level, not hard. I mean, I guess it could be considered hard to some, but... And some small treasure. Ooh, the question is, do we want to be wearing our Ring of See Invisible? I don't think that's entirely necessary. I do kind of want to experiment with shadow creatures here. Since I have never cast it in a Ziggurat before, I'm unsure as to what exactly it summons. Artifact Probe. Some scrolls of enchant weapon. Alright. Still have never found an evening star, so we have nothing to enchant. Ziggurat level 3. Oh. Silence, eh? That's somewhat inconvenient. That's cool looking. Huh. an Unrandart, a unique. Oh, neat. Extra vamp. Oh, I suppose we can't evoke things. Oh, we can't evoke things. Okay, well, sort of wander down here and kill these guys. These enemies aren't particularly troublesome. Good. Silence is something that's a little frustrating, but that's cool enough that we'll take it with us. Highly, highly doubt that we will ever use it, but, you know, treasure's neat. Okay, troll. At this point, let's just summon Fiery Death. Blah, ha, 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 ha. Okay, so ziggurats work this way. You can kind of tell by the pattern already, but you descend to a passage that you descend and you get through an archway through which you cannot return. There are portals out upon which monsters stand, flanking a... oops, did not mean to have Jur there. Flanking the next staircase down. So you can choose to leave basically at any time. I mean, if you fail to kill the monsters, you have to somehow get past them, but it's generally fine. We have scrolls of identify. We picked up some interesting stuff. Let's check out this scale mail of death resistance, even though it doesn't have negative energy resistance. That's pretty poor. Alright, any changes? Nope. Onward. Ravens often accompany Tengu. Very often. Not really worried here, not entirely sure. I guess, oh, they're using Kurare. That's the danger that would affect us if we weren't immune to poison. Kurare slows you, removes your breath weapons, and also, deals damage as per the usual for poison. This seems to be a poison-themed little room here, in fact. The Toxic Traveler. Boring. We'll hang on to it until we don't need it anymore, though. Lee's Rapid Deconstruction is good, but we don't need it, really. We have Shatter, which is better. We have a wall here. Looks like there will be some fire involved. So let's see. Let's put on this cool ring of fire resistance. Yeah, a couple pips should be sufficient. Ooh, what is that? That's cool looking. Oh, the Dagger of Chilly Death. Also good, but not something we particularly care about. More Fiery Death. We'll step a little bit closer, though. Try and get all of our enemies in the same... Ha, Firestorm is just so good. So good. I love it. I'm having a lot of fun casting it. We do, in our stash back home, have a manual of short blades, so it's, not outside the realm of possibility that we will make use of these cool, unique daggers, but, yeah, whatever. Okay, let's drop that, and get that, and wield that. Staff of Poison, drop that. And get our cool mace back. Onward. Let's make sure Firestorm is 80%. Whatever. Castable. Transparent bow, interesting. Not useful, but interesting. Okay. Well, more fiery death. It's just too good not to use. Interesting. Okay, so here we have some Zot level enemies ramping up in scope pretty rapidly here. Killer clowns being what I am referencing when I say Zot level. But we are strong. Eat this honeycomb. No reason to carry around food unnecessarily. I am not a big fan of leaving things behind since we cannot ever return to any of these levels of Zot, but things like slings, bows, just not useful to us. We'd have to train up a whole nother skill set, and I don't see a need. If we need to kill something at a distance, we have ample tools already. Okay, this is an interesting setup here. Chaos spawn. Thrashing horror. Okay, so we have abyssal creatures here. That's fine. I believe we have... Oh, no, we didn't get any temporary mutations. That's fine. Okay. Let's get an aura of abjuration going. Ooh, an amulet. That looks almost like an unrand art. Ooh. Inaccuracy. It makes everything less accurate, but has some interesting effects. Not particularly good for us, but... We'll cast Shatter for funsies. And then just proceed to bash things down. We have already been through the Abyss. We know we can take on its denizens. One thing to be aware of is that, well, generally speaking, the difficulty of each level of Ziggurat increases as you go. It's not always the case. Sometimes you'll find easier levels, other times you'll find nigh impossible levels following an easy level. There's no necessary rhyme or reason to it. Okay, so things which we can drop. Ooh, we can read these scrolls of enchant armor. Yeah, get our pearl dragon armor going here. Those pearl dragons in heaven were a great find. To 48 armor class, cool. Let's try on these boots. What are we wearing, actually? Strength -2, dex +4. +1 boots of jumping. Intriguing. I don't know that that's worth the dexterity penalty, but it's very good for us for right now, at least. Let's see. Must have been given its many protective properties by a powerful air mage, but he lacked a steady hand, so it makes you less accurate. Okay, yeah, it affects spells as well. We're already insulated from electricity, we fly naturally, we have better than repel missiles, so basically it's an amulet of evasion +5 that makes us inaccurate. We don't even need to pick it up. No use for us. Cutlass is actually kind of cool. This is one problem with Ziggurats, is that we can drop this. You get so much loot that you have a hard time carrying it all. What else can we ditch? Anything? Oh, we have another ring. So we'll read our scroll to identify, check out this ring. +0, +9, Ring of Slaying. That's nice. Let's check out this robe. No, not good. Robes are much better for gargoyles than they are for many other classes, because unlike all other classes, you get guaranteed damage reduction from robes, since they are treated as having a base armor class of 5 or 7, 5 more than normal. I guess we don't really need either of these books now that I think about it. Pitted Emerald Amulet. We'll identify that next time we get a scroll. Okay. I am going to pause this video for here. I have to take care of some real-life business, but we will return next time with the next level of the ziggurat. I'm having fun. I love ziggurats. I think they're one of the coolest features of this game, and I hope you do too. So, until next time, thanks for watching.